I would guess you had a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video that you grew up with. Where did you grow up? Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. Where did you go to rent your movies?
Blockbuster. We had like a lot of local shit. We actually had a local Hollywood, quote unquote, Hollywood Video. That I guess it was a real Hollywood Video, but it was in a house, dude. It was like an old house converted to Hollywood Video. And they sold like used video games and used other shit, but they also rented movies. Yeah, I mean, we had places around, a lot of local stuff. When Blockbuster came in, it was like, wow, we're getting a Blockbuster. You know, they've been all around the country for fucking forever.
Yeah.
And we're always last. We're the last. Like, we got Blockbuster, and I swear to God, like 9 years later, it was like going out of business. You know what I mean? So it's like
you got Blockbuster in like 1997.
yeah. No, literally like 96, 90, maybe 94, maybe 95. I don't know. But like, it was like not even like 10, 12 years later, it was going out of business everywhere. So yeah. No, we had those.
When would you go? Like, what is your, because I do want to walk through this a little bit. When was your movie rental experience like? Because for me, it was very like a normal 90s kid or 80s kid. It was like Friday nights, go to the movie rental store.
Rent 2, 3.
It was usually 2. But like what would happen is the whole family would dissipate. Everybody would go a separate direction, and people would just collect. You would get the boxes. You get all the boxes of all the ones that looked interesting. And then you'd all get together, kind of congregate at like 30 minutes later, get together. And then like, by the way, sometimes you would even ask somebody like, hey, have you seen that one? Did you watch that? Is that good? You would talk to other people in the video store, and you'd get your few that you wanted. And then they get the few, and the family would meet. And then like the mom or the dad would go, motherfuckers, you got to pick 2 or 3. We're fucking on a budget. So it would be an argument of like which ones you were going to get. And you would like, a lot of people probably don't even believe people would do this, but we would read the back of the video cassette, right? Like, what is it about? Does this sound like something we should invest our time in or not, right?
Well, that's what would hold you up, because you had to make a choice. You were going home with that. There was no like, oh, this sucks, I'm going to stop it and I'm going to find something else like you can do today. It was, you were stuck with this motherfucker. So you really wanted to make
You're watching it.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're probably going to, if you were like me, I grew up without like cable and shit. Like that movie was the movie we had for like the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You're probably going to watch that motherfucker. I watched Mr. Nanny, the Hulk Hogan movie, 3 times in one weekend.
Yeah, there's no channels to turn to.
Watch it.
Well, it's news or Hulk Hogan. Again.
So you're right, dude. You would have to decide, and because it was a big decision, because you knew, like you said, it was a thing. You had committed to it.
Yeah,
you were gonna fucking watch it.
You're stuck. You're stuck. And I used to go we used to go. We'd shop the section. Like, I mean, I told you guys before, everybody on the show, I told you, I grew up with horror movies. That was like my favorite thing. And that's probably because my dad made me watch Friday the 13th, the first one, when I was like 6 years old. And then when I was crying in my bed at night because I thought somebody was going to reach up and cut my fucking throat, he came in and said, stop being a sissy. And so I think that's why I love horror movies now, you know, and now that's just like, that's my thing. So I'd go, and like a lot of the older shit, which I wanted to see nowadays with all the CGI and everything, it's like, I can see where today's generation would not want to go back and watch something from 1996. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about before, even me, I'm like, yeah, some of this practical effects are great, but a lot of CGI was terrible back then. So, you know, and everything I grew up with was practical effects. It was like Rick Baker and all this fucking, you know, stuff that was amazing, right?
Tom Savini was a big name then.
Yeah, a lot of all that shit. Yeah. But like, I'd go back and get the older ones, because you could get like 3 of those for $4. So it was like me and my buddies would go, and, you know, we'd be having a weekend, we're getting sodas and freaking, you know, we're not old enough we're not into drinking or anything like that yet, or weed. Yeah. So it's like, you know, we're going getting sodas, we're getting all our snacks, and we're getting a fucking 1,000 movies.
Yeah, did you root beer and a pizza in a movie?
Fuck yeah.
You can, in a weird way, at like 8 years old, you can almost get high off of root beer in a weird way. It's you can get fucked up on root beer, dude. It's possible.
I know. Well, it's kind of like getting fucked up today. You get really fucked up today, and somebody's like, bro, you've had enough. Fucking sit down or go to bed. When you're a kid, it's like all soda, and your parents are like, knock the fucking shit off. You got a sugar high. Shut the fuck
you're
up.
Getting sugar high. Yeah. And then you would also, as a kid, like, because we are like even though we're gray rapes, we still like getting fucked up. When you're a kid, you would do shit to feel fucked up. You'd be like, I'm staying up for 3 days.
Yeah, or I'm going to spin around in a circle for 20 fucking minutes until I fall down.
Yeah.
Dude, one time I stayed up for 3 days, and it might have been 2. It might have been 2. I did that. I started hallucinating on my way home from school. I'm like walking home. I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, same vibe. Two is the most I've done. 48 straight hours because I wanted to see if I could do it. 48 straight hours is the longest I made it.
Yeah, I've done that.
And about hour 36, I'm not lying, was seeing shit that was not fucking there.
You
dude.
do, yeah. You hallucinate, bro.
Like weird shit, like a dog. Is there a dog there? Did I see a dog? I don't fucking know, dude.
It starts off much like acid, where things are just kind of wavy and stuff, and like weird, and you're like, "Whoa, that's kind of weird." Yeah, it gets crazy. I was actually up for.
That's what I did. By the way, having done shrooms and having done acid, that's the thing I think is what kind of. I think acid's kind of weak compared to shrooms.
Yeah,
because like it's mostly wavy colors.
It's just wavy shit. Or maybe a picture looks pixelated, and you're like, "What? That's pixelated?" And then you're like, then you see it again, and you're like, "It's not." I remember I got them.
Dude, that's why shrooms are better, dude. Shrooms, you literally see real, like you literally really hallucinate. You know what I'm saying? Like really hallucinate.
My first time doing acid, this fucking friend of mine, he's like, "Hey man, we got acid. Do you want to come?" I was like, "All right." He's like, "It's liquid," so he had it in like a fucking eyedropper, and he had the little eyedropper.
Oh, it's like your tincture story. You did another tincture.
Yeah, it was a tincture bit, man. And he's like, "Yeah, so like, how many hits do you want to buy?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've never done this before. I'll buy one." I think it was like $5. And I was like, okay, so we're in the back of this fucking like 1978 fucking Monte Carlo, and it's all dark out. It's nighttime, and he's trying to administer the drop, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Fucking 3 went in," and he's like, "Don't worry, I won't charge you." And I'm like, okay. And then they dropped me off at my house.
Bonus acid, yeah.
And he dropped me off liquid acid, and he dropped me off at my house. My first time. Drops me off at my parents' house. Fucking, 5 minutes later, they're like, "Hey, see you tomorrow," and I was like, okay. And then I went inside and I'm fucking hanging out in my bed like 45 minutes later. I'm watching this Kenny Rogers. There used to be this Kenny Rogers infomercial where he was like really into golf. And I don't know what he was selling on it, but he was fucking wicked into golf. And I'm sitting there, I'm laying on my bed. I'm watching my little 13-inch fucking tube TV with the little digital buttons on the front. And I'm fucking watching this Kenny Rogers golf thing. But I look up at one of my posters and I'm like, wow, it looks like it's kind of wavy. And then I look back at the Kenny Rogers fucking infomercial on the TV, and I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking pixelated. It's fucking pixelated. So I go up, I fucking look really close, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then I went back to, laying back on my bed, and I looked, and I was like, but it's pixelated. And then I go, no, it's not. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Shit's getting weird. I've never done acid before. I go to walk out. I'm going to leave the house. My parents are cool. They know I smoke cigarettes. My dad's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, I'm going to get some cigarettes. He goes, "I got some cigarettes." I go, "Yeah, you got menthols though. I don't want any of those." And this was when cigarettes were $2 a pack. I'm like, I'm going to walk down to the corner store and grab some. I go to walk out. I have cigarettes. I just need to get out of the house. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go fucking.
You were just getting the fuck away, dude.
Yeah, I'm just getting the fuck away. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out in the woods. Every weekend there's this party spots right near my house. Like you go out in the woods and fucking you go down this little trail, and then you get to the place, and then everybody's partying, and you're like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to fucking go do that. So I'm walking out and trekking out into the woods. I'm fucking starting to trip on acid. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm in the distance. I'm like, I hear people. Yes, there's a party tonight. I'll go there. I'll hang with these people. Everything will be cool. I need somebody because I've never done acid before. And I get out there. I fucking walk all the way out, and I'm walking down the trail where it should be a fire. I'm like, I don't see a fire. I hear people. I get there, bro. There's nobody there. It's completely dark. I'm in the middle of the fucking woods. There's no party. And now I'm fucking high on acid, and I've never been high on acid before. Now I'm alone, like 15 years old in the middle of the fucking woods. I'm like, this is fucked. I was so scared. I don't even know how I got on this story. Oh, wavy shit.